Hello everyone, welcome to the second video of the mini-series about resource planning. And on this video I want to talk with you about resource lists. They're a great tool to organize the resources that you have on your project, especially when the project starts becoming really big and really complex. So one of the first resources we have is actually our project team. And what is the project team? Basically, it's the set of individuals who support the project manager in performing the work of the project to achieve its objectives. In other words, it's the people that work most closely with the project manager in order to complete their objectives, the project itself. So this is people whom actively participate or contribute to the project, and people that basically, this is a group of people that obviously are working together towards a common goal. So on most projects that I do, actually the vast majority of them, I always use the project team list. This is a great document that basically helps us organize everyone that works on the project, that is more part of the core team, or anyone that is actually directly involved with the project, or indirectly as well. So basically this is a list of all the team members on the project, and here I like to divide into the ones that belong to the core team, people that work more full-time or more intensively on the project, or people that are extended team, people that maybe only come for some tasks or for some work of the project, and therefore they don't have a clear idea of the complexity or the whole project itself. On this list we include contact information. We also include for example, like different ways to reach them. And this is important because I believe this list is extremely important, not so much because yes, you as the project manager, you probably know all these people, but what happened, for example, if you get sick, or if for some reason you cannot give information to your team and they need urgently the contact of someone. This list is the answer for that, but you have to be careful as well to protect some of the information here. So this list actually is the primary resource assignment tool in small projects. And if you're doing a small project, this is probably the only tool that you use. I would say it's the most important one if you're doing a small project. But remember another thing, not all team members work full-time on the project, and this is something you have to be careful as well. It's a little detail that sometimes we forget. I decided to put here a little example. So I placed here the kind of information I typically put on my team list. I put the first name and the family name of the person, what kind of team member they are they core team or extended, what department they belong to, or in this case, what company. If it's extended team, here I'm assuming I'm working with consultants, for example, and therefore I put the name of the companies. Then I have two phone numbers, maybe a mobile, maybe a fixed, just two different ways to reach them. Two different email addresses as well, in case they have more than one, and it's always useful to have more than one email address. Then I can also put, for example, the location. Where are they? In this case, I'm assuming it's a very international project. And finally, I have their availabilities. Not, like I said, not everyone can work on the project every day, so therefore I like to place their availabilities to know what are the days that they are working on my project. And finally, I have some comments. For example, here the third one from the bottom, Vivian, for example, she's only working on phase 3. So right now I don't need to contact her yet because she will come later on. Maybe another team member is currently sick, and therefore it might get some delays on the work from this team member. But as you can see, this is an important list to have, because that way we never forget who are we in touch with, or who are the people, or how to contact them. So another list we can have is called non-personal list. Now this one is a very important one if you're dealing with different facilities or equipments. Here is a list where we identify facilities, equipments, materials, or systems accesses that you need. And you can have one different table for all of them. That's my suggestion, because otherwise it gets a little bit complicated. But typically it's not a super extensive list unless you are working with very complex projects. Don't forget that for each one of the things listed, you should have the name and the contact information of the person or organization that can help you in case there's a problem. And this is a very good way it's very adequate to communicate what are the availabilities of the different activities. And this is useful information not just for you, but for your team. And so, for example, they don't always need to contact you to know when is certain equipment available. They can just consult the table. An example I put over here is for equipment. So I place here, for example, 4 different labs equipment and 4 different locations of offices. I put where are they located right now, who is the contact person, what department or what company they work with, a phone number, an email, and what's typically the availability of these resources, and any comments that I might have. On the comments, I might say, for example, reserved for this date from this day to this day for this person, for example. And this way I always know, for example, what are the reservations that are already done and what are the ones that I might need to do. And remember, this is an Excel list that you can give access to your team so they can make the changes on their own and you can just supervise. I think it's a great tool. So to summarize, we identified that there are 2 different types of resource list, personal and non-personal. Both of them are extremely important, but don't forget, non-personal resource list, you can pretty much give access to your whole team. But on the personal resource list, be careful because you might have to hide content for certain team members of certain people. Maybe you have the contact of the CEO and this is not something that you want to give to access to all your team members because you requested so. And therefore you have to hide this information or just give particular access to the file. You can learn how to do that online, but on the projects, for example, for most projects, it's not a case. All right. Okay. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any questions and I'll see you on the next video.